African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 11th of April, 2024. In response to the Kiev regime's attempts to damage the oil, gas, and energy facilities of the Russian Federation, the Russian armed forces launched a massive strike tonight by air and sea-based high-precision long-range weaponry, as well as unmanned aerial vehicles at the facilities of the Ukrainian fuel and energy plant. The goal of the strike has been achieved. All the targets have been engaged. The strikes disrupted the work of the Ukrainian military industry enterprises, thwarted the transfer of reserves to combat zones, and made it difficult to supply fuel to the armed forces of Ukraine troops and military units. In Kupyansk Direction, units of the Zapad group of forces took more advantageous lines and inflicted losses on units of armed forces of Ukraine 103rd Territorial Defense and 13th National Guard brigades close to Kryvlyakhovka, Kharkov region, and Serebryanka, Donetsk People's Republic. The armed forces of Ukraine losses amounted to up to 35 Ukrainian troops, 2 armored fighting vehicles, 3 motor vehicles, 1 U.S.-made 155mm M109 Paladin self-propelled artillery system, 1 152mm Akatseyev self-propelled artillery system, 1 152mm D-20 howitzer, and 1 122mm D-30 howitzer. In Donetsk Direction, units of the Southern Group of Forces improved the situation along the front line and inflicted fire damage on manpower and hardware of armed forces of Ukraine 54th Mechanized, 46th Airmobile, 79th and 80th Air Assault Brigades near Belogorovka, Ostroy, Konstantinovka, Krasnogorovka, and Verkhnekamenskoye, Donetsk People's Republic. The armed forces of Ukraine losses were 520 Ukrainian troops, 3 armored personnel carriers, and 4 motor vehicles. In the course of the counter-battery warfare, 1 U.S.-made 155mm M777 howitzer, 1 U.S.-made 105mm M119 gun, 1 152mm Stubby gun, 1 122mm Gvozdika self-propelled artillery system, as well as 2 Nota electronic warfare stations were eliminated. In Avdiivka Direction, units of the Center Group of Forces have improved the tactical situation and repelled 8 counterattacks of assault groups of armed forces of Ukraine 25th Air Assault, 71st Jaeger, 59th Motorized Infantry, 24th, 47th, 115th Mechanized Brigades near Pervomaiskoye, Novokolinovo, Novobakhmutovka, Umanskoye, and Berdikai, Donetsk People's Republic. The armed forces of Ukraine losses amounted to up to 275 Ukrainian troops, 2 tanks, 2 infantry fighting vehicles, and 2 pickup trucks. In the course of the counter-battery warfare, 1 Polish-made 155mm Krab self-propelled artillery system, 1 152mm Stubby howitzer, 2 122mm Gvozdika self-propelled artillery systems, and 1 122mm D-30 howitzer were eliminated. In South Donetsk Direction, the Vostok Group of Forces units improved the situation along the front line and inflicted fire damage on units of armed forces of Ukraine 58th Motorized Infantry, 128th Territorial Defense Brigade close to Urozhenoye and Makarovka, Donetsk People's Republic. The armed forces of Ukraine lost up to 105 Ukrainian troops, 3 motor vehicles, 1 U.S.-made 155mm M777 howitzer, as well as 1 Nota electronic warfare station. In Kherson Direction, units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted fire damage on manpower and hardware of armed forces of Ukraine 128th Mountain Assault, 121st Territorial Defense Brigades near Lobkovoy, Zaporizhzhia region, and Nikopol, Dnipropetrovsk region. The armed forces of Ukraine losses amounted to up to 35 Ukrainian troops, 5 motor vehicles, 1 U.S.-made 155mm M777 howitzer, and one 152mm Jaet-B towed howitzer. Operational tactical aviation, missile troops and artillery of the Russian groups of forces have engaged 3 depots of missile, artillery, and aviation ordnance, one S-125 anti-aircraft missile launcher, as well as armed forces of Ukraine manpower and hardware in 112 areas. Air defense systems shot down 266 Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles, 4 HIMARS and Uragan MLRS projectiles, as well as 3 US-made JDAM aerial guided bombs. In total, 583 airplanes and 270 helicopters, 20,355 unmanned aerial vehicles, 500 air defense missile systems, 15,756 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,266 combat vehicles equipped with MLRS, 8,818 field artillery cannons and mortars, as well as 20,887 units of special military equipment have been destroyed during the special military operation. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.